Hi, I'm Melika Honore, and this is my story.
What's your story?
Gotcha. So, before we even start this, and if I want to give you, your flowers, because you are the true definition of one, New Orleans entrepreneur that's very successful. You've been having over 5 businesses, probably about 15, 20 years.
About 20 years now.
So, we're going to jump straight into it. How do you manage? What is an average day like for you?
The average day for me is 15 to 20 hours every day for the last 20 years. That's what the average day is. What I told you, but I'm also single. So I can manage all of this by myself.
But you weren't single all the
I
time.
wasn't. But both of my husbands were both entrepreneurs, so they got it. In this space, you like to share. You have to have a clear mindset between your partner so that you could be on the same page. But working so much, both of y'all.
Gotcha. So, so let's bring it back to tell the people actually, where are you from?
So where I'm from?
Yeah.
So born and raised in the 7th Ward, baby. I'm a hardhead. But this is what people tell me all the time. So I was born in the 5th Ward, but my family's from the 7th Ward. Can you hear that beeping? You can hear it?
I can't.
Okay. I was born in the 5th Ward, but my family's from the 7th Ward, so I tell people I'm from the 7th Ward. However, I've been in the East, so I'm an East beast for all of my adult life. So I've been in the East since I was 17 years old.
Right.
So I like to consider myself the mayor of the East.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So, but also when you hear that, with your last name, it just sounds like it's a big old family, somebody done a lot, but it's mainly you.
It's a dignified name though.
Yeah.
Honore family is heavy. It carry heavy.
But you carried your own weight. So
I would think so, but thanks for saying that.
yeah, and when I think of Honore, I think about you first.
Yeah, thank you.
Because it's your name on a lot of stuff.
Yeah, but most people after Hurricane Katrina connected Russell Honore.
Okay.
Right? But the Honore name is big everywhere. Baton Rouge, Honore's owned everything in Baton Rouge. You got Honore Construction. You have Honore Consulting. So the name is a dignified name, but I like to say I carry my own as well.
So so basically, if your last name Honore, if you got to own something.
You got to. You got to be a boss.
You got to be a boss.
Yeah, for sure.
And so where did you graduate from?
Warren Easton. Most people kind of know that. They always say you either went to Warren Easton or 35. I was born in 78, so I'm 47 years old.
Right. I ain't lie, when I was young, I thought that everybody was from the 7th Ward that was actually high. I'm yellow or light skin.
Went to 35?
No, I just know just 35 and Easton, but I just thought and it took me to meet people from the Entrepreneurship Project to know that they had dark people in the 7th Ward.
They do. But I just found out, so I'll tell you, the majority of us are kind of Creole. So I'll just tell you, I was up all night last night doing the genealogy. So my Honore family on a genealogy, I screenshotted and posted on Facebook, consider themselves mulattoes. And it's documented. But then the Rain family, which is my great-grandmother, was Passe Blanche. They spoke French fluently.
But most people from here spoke French first.
Yeah. And I know the curse words.
All right. That's great. And someone French actually gave me I was sitting in the hotel, he told me the reason why, but the street's name, it's the reason why currently right now, my office is in the CBD, but it's a reason why, but this street is called, Carondelet, and across there is Bourbon Street. You got
your French side and you got your Spanish side.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the mulattoes.
Everybody didn't know that though.
No. They have that neutral ground, and that was a reason it was called neutral ground, because you had the Spanish on one side and the French. So whenever they had to talk, they went in the neutral ground in between both. And so that's the history of New Orleans. Listen, I think this is the baddest city in the whole entire world.
But you know how many people live in New Orleans
that don't know that? That's crazy.
You know the people from New Orleans don't know that the French Quarter and Algiers was the first places that was found in New Orleans.
No,
they had a tunnel.
I would have thought that, no. So high school don't teach that. Well, I went to Warren Easton. They taught us that.
They probably taught that.
They don't teach it no more.
Yeah, because a lot of people, because when I hear people man, Algiers ain't New Orleans, I'm Algiers was here before.
The first.
Algiers was here before your hoods.
That's higher ground. And then people think the French Quarters. I don't know if but you might know that the French quarters was really Spanish territory. So those buildings are not French, they're Spanish. And then when you look at the engraving on those buildings, there are Spanish engravings and words. So it's not. So we think the French quarters, we instantly think it's French. Nah, it's not.
And guess what? There's a lot of history in that first quarter.
It is.
Yeah, but that you might not agree with if you're black and you want to be
You
there.
might not, because it's owned by the mob.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I actually just wrote an article on I gotta say his name correctly. Mm-hmm. It was the biggest mobster from New Orleans.
Is it not Sidney Torres?
Shout out City Torres.
I'm just saying. That's what I heard.
I ain't even gonna say his name. We gotta get it fast.
All right.
But they said that he was responsible for bringing the casinos and everything down. And I'm like, dang.
No, I believe him.
So it showed the mob way up north still had control down here too as well.
To this day. You don't see that many black businesses do well and stay long in the French quarters either, because they run that shit. Yeah. They decide if you staying or not.
If they grandfathered in.
They grandfathered in. And that little 7 district don't play about who's in there and the moves that you make, because they have to co-sign on all of it.
And it just show you too, even just being a business owner in New Orleans, it's about who you know.
It definitely is. New Orleans is a relationship city. I always tell people that. People say we cliquish. You agree with that?
Kind of, majority of it. Especially, it also depends on what school you went to, who you hang with, who you're affiliated with.
But you born and raised here in New Orleans?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't think, I can see why people think that we're cliquish, because we are kind of sorta. However, I do believe that we are not against allowing outsiders to penetrate those cliques if they bring something of value. Right. You can't be my friend, right, if you don't have, and it don't have to be money. It don't have to be
some type of value.
Some type of value, some type of connection, some type of something.
Yeah, I tell people now, if I could do it all over again and I actually stayed in New Orleans, I would have went to St. Aug and two-lane business.
Oh, hell yeah. Why?
Because I'd have been connected as hell and everything would have been green light for as a male.
No, for sure. Now, I understand that now. I'm not pro-college, though. But I get it. I'm
just saying, I'm talking about
for as a network.
I'm talking about both reasons.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm talking about both reasons. I ain't talking about just St. Aug would have covered all the black brotherhood.
Sure.
But two-lane business would have took me over the top.
So that's why I wanted my son to graduate from St. Aug for that reason.
I was sending my son to St. Aug.
Very selfish in the reason why I put my son in St. Aug, because I wanted to be a part of that alumni association. Because I ain't gonna lie, we could cuss on this.
Yeah, do your thing.
Because they fuck with each other, they hire each other, they do everything to each other.
I never seen that before.
And it's the shit.
And they still do it today.
And they still do it. If you have some Saint, or if you get stopped by the cops, I'm being honest, the Masons, if they see some type of emblem or Saint, I ain't gonna lie, they fuck with each other. I love.
I'm about to add that emblem to the back of the car.
You better. I would. That's why you do it.
I have it on even at the
That's why you do it. You better. So that's why I wanted my son to go. He went to St. Aug one year.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing. I'm in the dilemma because I want him to go for 1 year, but I'm also ready to move. So,
yeah.
We gonna make it work.
Yeah, but no, that's why again people put that St. Aug Alumni Association stick with each other.
Gotcha. So name the first business that you actually launched.
So the first business, I don't think people realize this was my childcare facility. It was the Love Center Daycare. It was after Hurricane Katrina, and I absolutely love telling this story since this is Tell Your Story. I started that business with an income tax check. Yeah. Most people don't know income taxes was created to get people out of poverty. Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
That's what it was created for. Tax refund returns.
And how much was your taxes if that year?
10,000. It still is. Man, listen, it's bigger than that now. I heard, but $10,286.
It changed your life.
Changed me and my whole family life. Because when I say that my whole family hasn't worked for anybody since we got that check and created that daycare center, that was 2007.
Well, I'm coming back and work for you.
Now you make big money. I can't afford you. Yeah, so that's my first business was a childcare facility, 24 hours. And so I'll tell you, I worked at the House of Blues. Shout out to HOB, my only job I ever had in my life. I worked there 10 years. And then after Katrina, I was working in HR. And so we would, everyone was trying to bring people back to the city. The French Quarters didn't flood during Katrina. And so the French Quarters was the only one saying, come back. And so Katrina happened in August. House of Blues reopened in October. People don't know. That's like 2 months later.
And that's also one story people don't know. And guess what? I think if they'll do it again, if they still wouldn't flood the French Quarter.
They wouldn't. They would they'll flood everything else around the whole city. They not fucking with them French Quarters at all. That's the whole. Nobody would even know about this state if it wasn't for New Orleans. They don't want to hear that shit.
I was told by a high-powered person at Desert Vegas probably a few years ago. They said even if New Orleans did manage to really get flooded, they would bring the French Quarter back on the island.
They sure the hell would. I believe that.
They said they would create Bourbon Street again.
I believe that wholeheartedly. Again, nobody would even know about this state without New Orleans and the French Quarters.
Right. And I always tell people that's why New Orleans don't claim Louisiana, because
We
New Orleans
don't.
was here first.
Listen, what we say. So I'll tell you, Darren, when I get to travel all over the world and speak for my other businesses, and people will say, my girls will say, this is my girl from Louisiana. Now they know I check their asses. I ain't from Louisiana. They'll be like, they don't understand the culture here. And they'll be like, well, isn't New Orleans in Louisiana? No, you don't understand. New Orleans is its own country.
Louisiana's in New Orleans.
Yes, you better say it. But New Orleans is its own island, its own country. New Orleans is versus everybody. But people don't really understand it unless you're from New Orleans.
Gotcha. So, that's the greatest thing about your income tax. You didn't actually. I'm like allow some guy to come in and try to flip it for you.
Oh no, I flip my own shit. I flip my own shit. Yeah.
So flipping your thing changed your whole family life.
It changed me and my whole family, and then I got a dope ass family. My sister came in and became a partner. My sister was like, I ain't gonna let you do this by yourself. And you know what's the crazy thing about this? And I absolutely love her as much as she Rare JD mama, Tashika.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, like she drives me fucking insane, but she really is my ride or live. I tell people that all the time. There is no Melika without her. I'm just more vocal about it. She's always in the background.
Yeah, but she's slim, you Birdman.
You know that? Yeah! Am I bird? I don't know if I'm bird, but yeah.
Birdman vocal.
And she don't like to be on the camera. And she don't want to talk.
Slim don't want to be on the camera.
Yeah, you're right. So that's probably what it is. But yeah, that's what it is. And so she came in and was like, listen. So because I'm just radical entrepreneur, I tell people, you really don't want to fuck with me because I live this life. There is no plan B for me. This got to work or it got to work. And so my sister was so dope and instrumental in that, because she was like, here go my $5,000 income tax. You do what you want. Do what you. I ain't gonna let you fall. And I was like, well, come be my partner. And the rest was history.
And you know, it's very rare that you hear those stories because like it's so many siblings don't trust each other.
Yeah.
Like, I ain't gonna say financially first, just don't trust each other, period. So it's like, it's very rare you hear these stories, like, as far as the black community in this bag, is like, your parents should raise you to, like, really stick together and go together with everything.
So that's what my grandparents did. My grandmother, and because she was an only child, kind of envious us in a good way. She was excited that we had siblings, and she used to say, y'all don't need no friends. Y'all each other best friends. And she told us that if one would fight, we all would fight. And so, again, we so close, even though we live our own individual lives, but we don't play with each other. We got each other's name tattoos on it. So this got to work or it got to work. But I think that's what I do my children. People don't know that. My sons are tight. My 3 of my children are tight like that.
That's dope. And like, with that being said, after opening up, you know, with your first business, I'm like, what was your second business?
So I had 5 daycares at one time.
And so you was almost about to just, you I can say almost, but you were actually on like franchising.
Yeah, pretty much my own franchise. But my sister had one. We was all partners, so we had 3 at one time. But we've had about 6 in total daycare centers at one time all over.
Gotcha. So, you know, since we own it, you know, we talked about it earlier. Let's talk about what you like about the daycare business and like what you dislike about it. Because I know, you know, you've been doing it for a long time. So I'm pretty sure if you saw so many people come ask you advice, try to get in the game, fall out the game, so many people trying to do it and just think it's gonna pop off fast. Like, I want to hear your story. So
I absolutely love the childcare facilities for the kids. You know, I tell this story, and my daycare center was open 24 hours Monday through Saturday before COVID. And so to watch little Melikas walk around this world today, right? And I see a part of me in them today is is rewarding. It's priceless in what that feels like, because again, as we know, we are creating little us. We're with these babies more than they're with their parents. Just think about it. Our children get to be with us 10 hours at the daycare center. There's only 24 hours in a day. So 10 hours you with us, you're going to sleep. How many hours? You're supposed to sleep 8 hours. So you're more with us than your mom and daddy. So to see the influence that we have in these children's lives is the great thing. I can't stand the parents. That, like, my daughter used to always say, well, why do administrative staff make so much money, more money than the teachers? Because they got to deal with I can't stand the parents. But I love the kids. The parents is the shit that gets on my nerves. But people don't know this. I leverage my childcare businesses to create cash flow. That's why I do it. And again, people may not understand that. You understand what I'm saying when I'm saying cash flow? Mm-hmm. Again, that money keep coming. I receive government money. I keep cash payments. I like to make money every day, Darren. That's just me. So the great thing is that I love the babies. I love the children. I love the influence that we have in these children's lives. I don't think that little black girls ever imagined a real... Before I was an entrepreneur, I didn't know an entrepreneur.
I didn't know what an entrepreneur was.
Me either.
Yeah.
I can tell you, so we talk about your story. So how I got into the world entrepreneurship is, I remember it was in 93. I tell this story all the time. And I'm sitting on a couch doing the inauguration of Bill Clinton. And I was a political girl my whole life. And so I'm watching the inauguration, and I remember seeing Bill Clinton get on the stage, and I remember seeing Hillary Clinton get on the stage and stand next to her husband. And I whispered to my grandmother, who was born in 1936, right? And I say, Mama, I can't wait till I marry a man and he become the president of the United States. And she whispered, because my grandfather was on the other couch, you don't have to marry a man, you could become the president of the United States. So I was a little black girl in the seventh ward walking around saying, I'm going to be the first black female president. And so my teacher, shout out to Miss Moffitt and Mr. Houston at St. Peter Cleaver, thought it was cute, but they challenged me. And that's why I tell parents, children and teachers, we have a strong responsibility to these children. They believe whatever we tell them. How many stories you hear people say, a teacher told me I couldn't do this, or my mama told me I couldn't do this. I believe what they told me. So they said, that's cute, but what does a president do? I didn't know it. And so they told me at that time, I'm born in the 78. We ain't have, we was the rich niggas with money. We had an encyclopedia. So there was no Google. So they challenged me to go to the library and then find out what the job of the president did. And so, do you notice at 12 years old, Darren, I got the list of all the president did, and at that time, the president only made like $200,000 a year.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That ain't no fucking money.
Hey, but you make it for the rest of your life, right?
Yeah, but then it drops down a percentage.
Oh,
yeah, but they don't make that full. But I didn't even see that as a little girl. I'm like, $200,000, and they got to do all this shit. That didn't make sense for me, because in my mind, the president was a millionaire.
Yeah, when I was young, I thought the president was the richest person in the world.
Yeah, me too. And so after I did that research, I was like, shit, I don't want to be the president no more. And it was like, well, what do you want to do? And I was like, I don't know. And it was like, okay, well, I want you to go back to the library and figure out what you want to do. And so I knew I wanted to be a millionaire. I wanted to make all kinds of money. And the only word I found in the library that I could decide how much money I made was the word entrepreneur. And so I got that word, ran back to school, and was like, I want to be an entrepreneur. And so some people disagree with me. I tell my children, I raise my children like this, figure out how much money you want to make. I ain't on that passion shit. I ain't gonna lie. I don't. That passion shit get old. I want to figure out how I want to live. And if it's me, I'm a legacy girl. Like, my children are the stars, the sky, and the moon, and they deserve the very best from me. And so I challenge children to figure out how you want to live and how much money you want to make, and then you decide what you want to do and what you want to be. I ain't on that passion shit. That shit get old.
Gotcha. So I don't get in your business, but I'm gonna ask you this. You ain't gotta answer it, but what year did you become $1 million?
In 2018.
And guess what? I can personally say, it was a long road, huh?
Yeah, it was
a long road for you.
It was a long fucking road. And hard. I don't ever pretend that this shit is easy. I know I'm nuts and crazy every single day.
So, but the good thing is, but you had, but your whole family kind of working for you before you came one, because they would have been like, oh, I need you to pay this, pay that, pay that.
And then, my sister's my partner, right? And so the goal is to leave daycares and businesses to all of our children. Rare JD gonna have one if she want it, She want her own daycare, she gonna have a daycare.
She gonna be one. She gonna be one.
Teaching children how to rap.
Yeah. She gonna rap the daycare.
She got a rap for the children. She created a rap with her mama book.
But I need to put her on YouTube Kids.
Yeah, we was telling her children she do her own thing. Shout out to Red JD.
YouTube Kids.
But yeah, the goal is so for me in my mind, the goal is to set my children up with their own business. That's why I have so many businesses. You ain't asked me that. Like I have 3 children.
Oh no, we about to get to all that.
Yeah, and my children are gonna ball if I'm dead or alive.
Have a generational wealth.
Legacy, generational wealth. That's what it's about. Because guess what? This shit gotta make sense.
And so have you actually told your kids that you're a millionaire yet?
They know that.
Oh, I'm about to say, because they probably watched the interview like, hey, man, I want this.
Them niggas go to De La Salle. One go to college. He got a partial scholarship. I still got to pay for it. They got cars, car notes. Yeah.
And the kids cost.
Yeah.
So, after you had, MJ had like 5 daycares. Hey, but what was your next business like? You know what? I'm about to jump into this.
Yeah. So I'm trying to think about if it was cast iron rolls or the car wash with my ex-husband. But I think it was the car wash. I think it was the car wash and the tire shop on Chef and Dale we had. And that's, y'all gonna probably do y'all little Googling or whatever. That's probably how he got in trouble, trying to expand, connecting with his cousin, Telly Hankton. And the rest was history. And so that was my second business along with my husband. The third business was the restaurant that you and I got connected with. That, you know how long ago that was? No. That was, so he been gone since 2012. I had that restaurant in 2010. So that's been.
So I tell people that my story, I had to mention you about it. I finally got caught in 2010. So I learned a different business. So I started promoting. Then I started promoting businesses. And you were one of the first clients I had.
Yeah.
And you had 5 different businesses. So this had to be around 2010.
2010,
12.
Yeah.
10.
Yeah.
Around 10 or 12.
Yeah.
So I always tell people you were part of my story getting to this point in life too.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And look how this shit full circle.
Right. And you telling your story.
Yeah, I'm telling my story. But yeah, so I think that was the third business. But I've had several businesses. And so I tell people that we see what's here today.
So but not to get into full detail of your business, because I'm pretty sure somebody probably gonna want to ask this, what happened when the people came for your husband, and how did that
how it went down?
And how did it affect your business? Because usually when you're married to someone, if they try to come for you too.
So they did. So they was trying to say we had drugs in the daycare, so all kind of dumbass shit, But
it was power.
So, but yeah, right. But the feds, they watch. They knew we wasn't on no dumbass shit. But here's the thing, my husband didn't do what they accused him of. Now, I always tell people I don't know how innocent he was because I had to take the stand. Listen, this was crazy. I'm Googling my name the other day because you got to keep Googling your name because shit pop up all the time. And big as cup, a picture of Telly Hankton, it says, Melika take the stand against Telly Hankton. That's what it says.
Dang.
So you would have thought I was a whole fucking rat out here.
Yeah. They trying to make you look bad out here.
Tried to make me look bad. Now I know, but again, you have to click. It's a YouTube. You have to click it. But if a person just Googled my name, it says Melika take the stand against Telly Hankton. That ain't what it is. If you click it, it's talking about me taking the stand to help.
But the crazy part is just that whole situation. The people try to they just try to paint him like the biggest monster ever.
And that's not what he was.
And I told people, man, dude was not what y'all put him on.
He was a good dude.
And also, I'm one of the few people posted that, he actually graduated in jail. Mm-hmm. I'm like, people don't want to tell this side of the story. They want to just tell the street side.
And they're a family-orientated family. Right. So if you know the story, that shit happened between a family member, right? And so they're a tight-knit family. And they again, if you do your research, ain't nobody ratted, not the family members.
I ain't at the time, I didn't even know I didn't know your husband was actually into him.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, I'm promoting the car wash.
I didn't even know, right? But, again, you never know. But yeah, they have the same great-grandmother.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So, I don't get to full details how y'all got divorced and all that different.
But
things
he went
like
to prison. He got life. What else?
Yeah.
Like, but here's the thing. I tell people that like for 10 years I josted him. I didn't cheat on him. No sex. I didn't even communicate with a dude for 10 years.
And so actually, I'm like, what point you was actually like, man, you know what? It was time to move on with my life.
Well, we both agreed, like depending on, because it was such a high profile case, it didn't go to trial till like 4 or 5 years. So he went to jail in 2012 and it didn't go to trial till 2016. And so again, we didn't know that he was going to get life.
Right.
And he didn't do what he was accused of. He got accused of aiding and abetting to murder. They said he paid Mooney, Walter Porter, which, again, I took the stand. They could look at it, and they said it happened in my house. That never happened. So he didn't do what they accused him of. So we never had plans on. We thought after the trial was over,
He'll be coming home.
He gonna be coming home, and we're gonna live our amazing fucking life. And that just didn't happen.
So I'm gonna ask you this question right now before we go further.
Yeah.
You still single, so if people always give life back. So if you give life back,
I'm a different person.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I love him to death. He's my dog. I'll tell people a lot of who I am today is because of him. Like he's a Nation of Islam Muslim. And so he came and gave me that. Again, I always knew I wanted to be an entrepreneur, but he was like, fuck that. Go work for yourself. Right? They instilled that in that community and in that religion to work. The black man needs to support his family. And so I shout out to him again. One of my best friends, he taught me a whole lot. And I got some amazing children from it.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So while we on the topic, being a single black, successful woman in New Orleans, how hard it is to actually meet someone here, because it's like, I'm pretty sure maybe trying to holler at you like, oh yeah, she got some money, let me see what we can do. So like, hey, how hard it is for you?
So not hard at all. I tell people, because I'm God's favorite daughter, I meet some, when women be like New Orleans is trash and the dating pool is trash, that's not my experience. I meet only some amazing dudes out here. I ain't gonna lie. I can honestly say, again, I went 10 years, nothing. Tunnel vision, working on me and my children and these businesses. And so you could tell that I haven't had so many heartbreaks, because again, I've been in 2 adult relationships in my life, and they're both with my husbands. And so I'm newly outside. I would say 2019. But no, I've only met, so I don't understand why women say that. Now, here's the thing. I do understand. Like, I ain't crazy. But I don't meet those types of dudes. I meet, again, they may not make as much money as I do, but I only meet men that are amazing men here in New Orleans that's focused and ambitious. So that's not my experience. Now, however, I do meet men in other places that are really in the ballpark making maybe the same amount of money, if not more. That's different. But no, I'm having fun out here.
I ain't gonna lie, y'all don't know too many men in the world gonna make more money than you, because you got like 20 businesses.
Yeah, I do. and listen, and I told another story, like
how you have time for the date?
I know, I don't. Like, a man gotta push himself inside of what I already got going on.
Yeah, we gotta include himself in the world.
Yeah, and help take something off my plate. So if you see all the shit that I got going on, you better come in and search yourself and try to help me. Like, at this point, so you ever heard of 5 Love Languages, that book?
No, I haven't heard of it.
So it's talk about, people have 5 different love languages in this book, right? One is act of service, right? One is love, affirmations. One is gratitude. But you got to read the book. So at one time, I felt like my love language was act of service, which means you come and do something for me to help my life easier. Now I realize that words of affirmations and gifts is one too. I absolutely love gifts, but act of service is still my love language, which is something that a dude can do that don't make as much money as, because I need fucking help. Like, this shit is hard. I always tell people, we make this shit look easy on social media. I'm sure they can look at you and all the brands that you built and think it's easy until they get in the shit and then they realize it's not easy. This shit is hard. So my love language is for a man to come rescue me and save me. I need help.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, and people like yourself, like, actually motivate me. Like, as soon as I get in bed at night, I go to sleep, like, man, I ain't working hard enough, man. They got people got all this going on, all these businesses, and they still making it work. I feel like I'm not working hard enough. Like, so, like, Yeah, but it should motivate people
It
as well.
should. It should. So dudes that do that, now that's the one thing that the dudes tell me that I seem intimidating, right? Because I'll be my day starts at 5 a.m. 5 fucking in the morning. So just imagine I'm dating a dude and he laying next to me and I'm getting up at 5 in the morning. You still in the fucking bed? Hell no.
Right. See, I'm not intimidated by like a woman who does that because like I have male friends that do the same thing. It has multiple businesses or doing it to a higher level. So like, hey, but I think you are like what you're around. Like if you're not around them, like if you only I'm like around like a woman, then you probably feel like intimidated.
Yeah.
But if you got friends
that hustling,
that's doing it to a certain level, it's gonna motivate you.
It is gonna motivate. Because again, I always tell, and I told this story the other day. I look at a dope ass woman, I instantly think about what type of dude she have. Right? And I would think that if she a go-getter, her dude a go-getter. And so it definitely should inspire you to, again, if you got a girl that's hustling, it'll make your ass get up and want to hustle too and just work as hard as she does, if not harder. So, I mean, I've been told that shit, that I've been intimidated. I just don't give a fuck. I'm not dummying myself down for nobody.
I ain't like, but like, just like, your average man who like have just a job or something, they were only like taught like one way. Mm-hmm. So like, some people easily become one like product of like,
their environment.
Yeah.
They always say you are the product of the 5 people that you are around. So again, if you are around people that's broke, you're gonna be the 6th broke person. But if you're around this people that's getting it every single day and around millionaires, I can tell you my friends are all 6 and 7 figure business owners. My real friends are already generating at least 6 figures inside of their businesses, and all my real friends are all business owners. So when they say that conversation is much different, it absolutely is. I can tell you ain't talking about no tea.
Well, I need all your real friends to come on it. Hey, come tell their story. Tell people how they make the 6 figures.
I'm going to send them.
So like, hey, so what's your advice to a female right now? And January, February coming up, hey, but life been hard and they about to get their income tax. Tell them, like, what's your advice? Hey, but if you could start over and do it all over again, hey, but would you change anything or like, hey, whatever? I want you to kind of like give them, some type of advice.
So the first thing that I would tell a person is get in a different circle. Right? If your circle is not motivating you, if your circle is not driving you to go to networking events, to travel to other networking events, get you a new circle. That's the first thing I always tell people. Get you a circle of people that think like you want to be. Like you get around those people. And most people don't understand that they'll say, so I'll tell you, one of my ladies in my office, I always ask people, well, how do you perceive me from social media? I'm curious. I always want to know because again, I post social media. I just post sometimes. I don't put too much strategy. Sometimes I do. But I'm always curious about what people view me as. And the girl says that, yeah, you could come sit with me, but you really can't. And I was like, at first I was like, oh, I don't want to portray that. But that's what it is. That's reality. You can't come sit with me. And I'm not apologetic about that. But again, not saying that you got to make buku fucking money, but you got to bring a value. What I said that. You got to be able to bring some type of value to my life, because if not, why, again, reciprocity. Right? Mutual reciprocity. Ain't no takers in my friendship zones. Ain't no takers. We're all giving into each other. Something. Listen, my best friend is a therapist and a business coach. Do you know she's every day at the Verdict helping me serve?
She worked.
Ain't never worked in a restaurant a day in her life. And she called me every single day and say, what's your books look like? What's your reservation books like? Well, I got a couple hours. You want me to come? That girl ain't never worked in a restaurant a day in her life.
Probably challenging herself for something new too as well.
And it is, and it's fun, and it's networking for her too, right? And so if I could do it all over again, I tell you, change your circle, get around people that you want to be like. You want to mimic those people, serve them, or you're gonna pay to be in that crew. Straight up, I'm a part of a mastermind group. You ever heard of that?
I heard of that, but I never been a part of one.
I pay $25,000 a year just to be in a circle. That's it.
Yeah, but you got to pay to play.
You got to pay to play. And the thing is that these women that pay, they from all over the world. They're just not from the United States. But the women that invest $25,000 for absolutely nothing to just be in a circle of women, but think about the conversation that's being held. And so high level conversations. We talk about Go high level. People are like, what's go high level? CRMs. Talk about SaaS companies, right? B2B. You have to understand those conversations. When you in that room of evergreen funnels and all of this shit, the conversation is much different. So I would tell that girl, get in a different circle, change your friend circle now. Today, like yesterday, and get tunnel vision. So February, you about to get that $10,000 income tax check. Choose one fucking thing and go all in. Don't see nothing else. And I tell people, go in 6 months of tunnel vision, 15 hours a day, and see what happens.
Lock in.
Lock in.
So, but you opened up the verdict.
The verdict, the sexiest.
How did that come about?
What? Okay, so again, I'm a radical entrepreneur. I don't believe in saving money, Aaron. I don't believe in sitting on cash. Cash, right now, if you're sitting on cash, saving it in the bank, you're losing money. Because inflation by itself, right? And so, again, I'm the credit girl. People know me as honorary credit, the girl that do credit. I teach people how to leverage other people's money. One of the reasons why I keep the daycare centers is cash flow. And so my daughter and I was in Miami. We went to a restaurant called Victory. You ever heard of Victory in Miami? It's in Houston too. And we went to, it was like it was merging restaurant and a club scene together. And she was like, we don't have nothing like this in New Orleans. You either have either or. You either have a restaurant where you have the little music in the background, just low key, or you have a club or a bar. We've never really had one that mixed the two. And my daughter was like, we should do this. And I said, we should. And I called that same best friend that's helping me at the verdict right now and was like, create me a business plan. And I want to open up a restaurant and a hookah lounge. Got told no 3 times. And then I brought it to the best community in the whole entire fucking world, New Orleans East. Right. And that's how we got it.
And like opening up in New Orleans East, at the time, New Orleans East is like labeled right now as crime. Yeah, it's crime time.
Absolutely. But really, when you get in New Orleans East, it's really a great, amazing community with thriving Black people of wealth. We still control majority of the wealth in New Orleans, just in the East. Baby still got a house in the East, coming back to Eastover, right? People don't know that. So again, majority of the East is still homeowners. We pay homeowners taxes. And so we still control it. And so I'm going to add this part too. A restaurant in the East was highlighted on Kitchen Nightmares with Gordon fucking Ramsay. If that didn't put New Orleans East on the map, I'm telling you it did.
And I tell people I just hear about it because I know people in the street, but I never see nobody outside the East.
They don't.
But I know not to go post up at the gas station. Yeah. But I'm just saying.
But you know about that in the whole New Orleans. Right. Don't go post it up by Triangle on St. Bernard and Broad. Right. Don't go post off on the Legion Fields. Like, New Orleans is bad.
New Orleans has always been New Orleans.
Yeah.
But I think the East just got the name because they sent majority of the Section 8 to the East.
That's what happened. After Hurricane Katrina, let's be honest, they closed all the projects down. And how old are you, Darren?
Hey, but I just made 38, and like so 2005 was the best year of my life. I graduated.
See what I'm saying? But if you know the story, you had all these projects scattered all over,
of course.
And then you close all the projects down and you give them all Section 8 vouchers. As a Black girl in New Orleans, houses. Then you went from living in these 3-bedroom apartments, condos, projects.
It went 3-bedroom apartment.
You know what I mean? It looked like it. You know what I'm saying?
10 people living in there.
But now you give these people $2,500 of vouchers. Where you gonna move at? A place that you always visioned to live, and that was the East.
Yeah, the East.
The East was where the niggas with money was.
Right.
And so that's what they did. They shut all the projects down and they flooded with Section 8 vouchers, and all these people in the projects now are in this one little area.
But I love the East before, Hurricane Katrina.
Yeah, I love the East now.
I still go to the East, but all my East people be like, oh, you always trying to down the East. I'm like, man, I'm telling y'all what the people saying on the news.
No, people are haters. Let's be real. Crescent City is worse. Uptown is worse.
But I still go to the East. So like when I go to them restaurants and different people, they be like, oh, I thought you don't come out here. I say, I still support.
Listen, I'm the mayor of the East. I told you that. I don't play about this East. The East is the best community in this whole city.
So actually, I'm like, with that being said, what do you think that the East needs if the next 5 years from now?
What we need or what we gonna get?
What y'all gonna get in the next 5 years?
We getting Bayou Phoenix. That's one thing that's huge. Watch what happens after that. Bayou Phoenix is now gonna be one of the biggest sports complexes, family orientated place in the whole state. And so watch what happens there. So I'll tell you what's happening, and I own a few pieces of property in the East, and I tell people, pay attention. The minute they announced Bayou Phoenix was opening, investors started calling my phone, asking me to buy my property. What they know that we don't.
If they know something.
They know something. And so that's one thing that's happened in Bayou Phoenix. We just recently got approved to have a carousel in Joe Brown. Joe Brown, not all communities have a park. We have Joe Brown. We have the Nature Center. That's the Audubon Nature Center, right? We have the wildlife. So we have so many communities in the East that's thriving. Again, we got the bad stuff, but I like to tell people all the good shit. And again, let's be honest. You can't build any more land. If you want to build anything, you only can go into the East. Right. You can't build it nowhere else.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and we got the Verdict, the sexiest restaurant and lounge in New Orleans.
Gotcha. Hey, so what's next for you?
Politics. Yeah.
But you really running for mayor next?
I might.
Hey.
Not this one.
Not this one, yeah.
Because Oliver Thomas going to win this one.
Yeah, but you got to go for the East, huh?
You know, and I'm the air. Yeah, let me tell you what I tell people. Any mayor and anybody that's running right now knows that they cannot win that seat without the consent of District E, which is the greatest community in New Orleans East. Yeah.
And he got it.
And he got it. OT going to win.
Gotcha.
So.
And hey, with that being said, last but not least, tell the world, what can they find you on social media and everywhere else?
All right, y'all, make sure y'all follow me on Instagram. It's IAM Melika Honore. That's MELIKA. Honore, HONORE. I'm also Honore Credit on Instagram, and The Verdict Nola. Y'all can reach me at all 3 Instagrams, and it's really me sometimes.
What's your story?